So tonight we are doing something new. It's called Fascinating South African History in Under 3 Minutes. We tell you about a wild happening from our collective past in that record time because we have a lot to get through on this show. There's always so much news, and so we're going to try and put 180 seconds on the clock, and that's all the time I have to tell you about some fascinating South African history that more people must know about. 180 seconds is not a lot of seconds, but we're going to try it out and see if it works. Again, I have not rehearsed this. I have no idea how this is going to go. Is that good? Yeah. Okay, let's do the first ever edition of Fascinating South African History in Under 3 Minutes. Okay, here's the story of the coup attempt to overthrow South Africa's government that would have changed our country's whole future if it had succeeded, and the frankly mad way the coup was thwarted on Fascinating South African History in Under 3 Minutes on the Dan Quarter Show. Our timers, Mikateko and Lebogang from the audience, are you ready?
Yes.
No, you're not.
Yes. Yes.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Audience, please carry them. Okay, they've got timers. They're going to be letting me know how it goes, and let's see how we do. Okay, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Start the clock. In 1914, South Africa was just a few years old. After the war between the British and the Boers, the country was formed and many Boer warriors were incorporated into the South African Parliament and Army, including famed Boer leader Koos de la Rey. Then World War I broke out and South Africa's Prime Minister Louis Botha chose to enter the World War on the side of the British against the Germans. This infuriated the Boers. They had just waged a war against the British, who had killed many of them and put many more into the world's first concentration camps. So the Boers didn't want to fight for the British side. Oh no, they didn't want to fight for the British side, especially against the Germans, who had been allies of the Boers in the war against the British just a few years before. So when South Africa joined the war on the British side, many Boers protested, and some in the army began plotting an insurrection to overthrow the government by force, using soldiers loyal to them in the South African army. At that time, there was a hugely famous, influential Boer soothsayer called Sinner van Rensburg. Many Boers believed that the Sinner could tell the future through his visions. He was basically a sangoma in Afrikaans. Crowds would rock up to listen to Sinner van Rensburg's prophecies. And then on the 2nd of August 1914, Sinner van Rensburg told people about a dream he had of De la Rey returning home to his farm, bareheaded in a carriage adorned with flowers, while a black cloud with the number 15 on it poured down blood instead of rain over their heads. And many Boers interpreted the Sinner's dream as a sign that De la Rey would triumphantly lead the Boer resistance against the government. But van Rensburg believed that the dream was a sign that De la Rey would die. And then a month later, on the 15th of September, 15, just like the number 15 in the Sinner's dream, De la Rey set off in a car for a meeting at a military camp in Potchefstroom, where many Boer loyalist fighters were garrisoned. And here is where it gets really, really insane, because at the very same time, the police were on the hunt, not for De la Rey, but for South Africa's most infamous criminals, the Foster Gang. The police set up roadblocks to try and catch the gang, and according to reports, De la Rey didn't know about the roadblocks. He didn't know about the roadblocks, so when he saw them, he assumed that their plans, the Boer plans, had been uncovered and told his driver to run the roadblocks. At a roadblock in Langlaagte, De la Rey's car sped through the roadblock. The police thought it was the Foster Gang and fired on the vehicle. One bullet hit De la Rey and killed him. Apparently, the bullet wasn't even a direct hit. It ricocheted off of the vehicle and into De la Rey. It was a complete freak, and De la Rey died on the 15th, and he did have his body returned to his farm, just like in Sinner van Rensburg's dream. Just like in the Sinner's dream, the Boer rebels had lost their most inspirational leader, someone who could really galvanize widespread support. Many believe that De la Rey had actually been assassinated by the South African government, not hit by mistake in a roadblock looking for somebody else. Some remaining rebels led an uprising anyway. They captured a town, they occupied some land, they took some government stores and ammunition, but they were quickly crushed. South Africa fought the World War with the British, and the rest is history. But just imagine, if that insurrection had succeeded, how differently our country would have likely turned out. Time! Yes! Mikateko and Lebogang, what was the time?
It was 2 minutes, 58 seconds.
2:58. Yeah. That was. Did you guys get the whole story though?
Yeah.
That was no. That was absolutely crazy, and we got it under 3 minutes. So fascinating. Maybe we should make this a regular feature in future. Excellent.